Hi, good evening. My name is David, and tonight I'm running a session of Hearts of Wulin. Hearts of Wulin is a PBTA game of wuxia melodrama by Lowell Francis. It's currently in production, but should be released soon, hopefully. You can find more information on that down in the link below. I won't go into a full spiel on that now. This game is being run as part of the Gauntlet, which is an online role-playing club. We get together and play games like this online. You can find out more about us and what we do down at the link below again as well. We also have some podcasts, a monthly gaming zine, and some other stuff you can check out as well. So yeah, that's sort of what we're doing and who we are, and why we're here. So with that said, we are currently playing a game. We're partway through. That's sort of inspired by a series like the Untamed, where you have kind of court politics mixed in with high-powered martial arts and weird mystical stuff going on. But yeah, before we get any further, I'm going to ask my players to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about the character that they'll be playing this evening. So we'll start as ever in character keeper order. So Puckett, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your character.
Hi there, I'm Puckett. I use he, him pronouns. Tonight I'll be playing Zhang Long, who is also known as Young Zhang or Blind Zhang. He was blinded in a sorcery accident gone horribly wrong, which killed his mentor, Li Fang, and allowed Golden Soul Scholar Shang to obtain the power that he now uses to control the kingdom. Zhang's goal is ending that control and restoring the kingdom to earthly rule and only earthly rule.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And next, Bran, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
I am Brian, he, him, and I am playing Mirror of the Cloud, also he, him. Mirror of the Cloud is an outsider who would rather be meditating in nature than spending his time at court, and is a member of the 11 Devil Perfection Society who essentially also kind of oppose Golden Skull Scholars' leadership, but I think for the most part trying to banish these supernatural forces is a fool's errand.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Next, Maria, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us about the character you'll be playing.
Hi, I'm Maria. I use she, her pronouns, and I will be playing Yaling Liu, who also uses she, her pronouns. She is a member of the Liu clan. She is the principal handmaiden / servant to Constant Silver Starlight, who is in charge of the clan. They sort of do not really oppose Golden Soul Scholar as much as they would like to use Golden Soul Scholar and eventually take control of the Wulin world, etc., etc. Yaling is sort of ambitious and potentially has a soft spot for other ambitious servants, namely Min Yang, but I think we'll see what happens because other people are like, oh, you should try not to get involved in devilish deeds, etc. But yeah, that's Yaling.
Brilliant, thank you. And last but not least, Chris, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us about the character you'll be playing.
My name is Chris. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Min Yang, who is a member of the Wu clan, also uses he, him pronouns. He is a magistrate in the court and well trusted, but a member of a clan that is out of favor. Min Yang wants to understand the demons and how they work, even at the risk of extending their influence. I'm hopelessly in love with Zhang Long and would do anything for him. However, I have made a commitment to Lei Ning not to reveal her secrets. So, it's a horrible disaster brewing.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. So yeah, thank you all. So before we get into things this evening, I will very quickly recap our safety tools we'll be using. We obviously have some lines and veils in place. They're in the lines and veils tab on the character keeper. I'll just ask if you can just quickly refresh your memory of those, just so we can take the steps necessary to avoid going into those. Obviously, if you want to add anything to that list or add a veil or a line to something that we haven't got one on yet at the moment, feel free to do so. It is a living document. If you can just give me a quick message in private, just so I know to sort of let people know that it's been updated. But yeah, if people want to check over that now quickly. The other tools we'll be using are the X card. You can invoke the X card by doing the hands, by putting something in chat, or just by saying in over chat that you'd like to X card something. If something's X carded, we'll remove that from the scene and we'll kind of work around it. I might need to ask you what it is exactly you're X carding if it's not immediately obvious, but I won't ask you to justify why you're doing that. The fact that you have done so is enough. We'll also be using script change. I won't go through this in exhaustive detail, but just to say our commands are pause, fast forward, rewind, frame by frame, and instant replay if it comes up. Pause, as I said before, is probably the most important one of these. At any point, if you want to just call pause, whether that be because you need to just take a break from the scene, to go and answer the doorbell, to go and get a glass of water, or just to take a quick breather, or if you want to like have a quick out of character chat about the way that the scene's going and what you'd like to see happen or you wouldn't like to see happen, anything like that, we can use pause for that. So yeah, those are our primary safety tools. As well, we'll be playing under the open door policy. So if at any point you need to leave, again, whether that be just to take a quick break or to leave the session for good, then feel free to do so. If you can let me know, again in private chat, if necessary, that is great, just so that I know what we're doing. But don't feel that you have to. If you just need to leave, then leave. That's fine. For myself, if I disappear for I'll say if I disappear for more than about sort of 10 minutes, so there's probably I won't be coming back. I don't see there being any problems this evening, but we have had one session already interrupted by my internet deciding to fall over, which is in fairness not a common thing to happen, but just so people are aware. Then so like I said, if I'm gone for more than 10 minutes, especially if I don't get in touch, then assume that I won't be coming back. But yeah, that's that, I think. To quickly recap, last time we played, we had a session primarily focused back at the Temple of the Immortal Throne. Sort of getting back into what had happened in the wake of the defense of Myland Village. We had some training scenes between different characters. We had some moments of tension, but it was a fairly character-focused session last time. I think it would be fair to say. So yeah. Before we get into the game proper, the one last thing which I always forget is if at this point, obviously everyone has some entanglements. These are little relationships between the different characters. If you wish to change around any of your entanglements at this point, feel free to do so. If you just let us know what you're changing and what changes you're making, that's cool. We will see we'll try and get those featured in. And as well, if you would like to mark one of your highlight one of your entanglements, which we will endeavour even harder to get into play this evening, and we'll obviously earn you extra XP if we hit that entanglement at the end of the session. So yeah, I will give everyone a moment, and then I'll just quickly check in with everyone. Cool. So yeah, I will go. Actually, I'll go in reverse character keeper order this time. So Min Yang, do you want to make any changes to your entanglements this session?
I'm highlighting the one where I said I promised Zhang Long I would help aid them in recruiting Mirror of the Cloud. That, you know, to recruit him into his plan to depose Golden Soul Scholar, and that unfortunately that's caused me to fall in love with Zhang Long. I don't think there's any changes I want to make to my entanglements. I think I'm good.
No worries. That's cool. So yeah, Yaling Liu, do you wish to make any changes to your entanglements?
I think I might want to adjust my general entanglement, which is that Li Ning has given me private secret trading, but Jensen and Bao Yin will be enraged if they learn of it. And I think if it's okay with Puckett, maybe I might try to drag Zhang Long into like the second half. Like maybe he doesn't right now, like he knows that Yaling is being trained by Li Ning, but he doesn't know the extent of that training.
I am okay with
Or
that.
something like that.
Yeah,
and then I
certainly.
did change which one I was highlighting.
Sure thing. Yeah, no, that's cool. Thank you. Yeah, and that's probably I've been, and I do apologize. I've been awful at getting NPCs involved this time. So yeah, putting a PC in there is probably not a bad choice. Yeah. So Mirror of the Cloud. Do you wish to make any changes to your entanglements this session?
No, I think they're good as is. So.
Cool. Perfect. Yeah, awesome. So, sorry, no, wait, I've confused myself by the changing order. So yeah, finally, Zhang Long, do you want to change any of your entanglements around this session?
I think they're good, and I've highlighted the recruiting Mirror of the Cloud entanglement, which is kind of funny because when Chris was talking about it, I was just like, oh yeah, same thing. Okay, well, that'll be fun. So yeah, I think they're fine right now. Also, I do have a banked advance we were talking about.
Yes.
That,
I did actually put together a little an ability which I've added to your sheet. I literally did it this evening, so
okay.
I just put it on there. You don't feel you have to take that if you don't want to, but that's sort of the ideas that I had. So if you want to have a quick look through that and
sure,
decide what you think about it, that's cool. But I think it hits broadly on what you were looking for, and if you want to make any changes, whatever to that, that's cool. Awesome. Yeah. So I think with all this in mind, let's double check. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, I'm not sure if we'll be getting Lara this evening or not. So we'll work on the assumption we won't be for the time being. I think the we'll jump in broadly where we left off last time. So yeah, and obviously to fill you and Chris, because you weren't here last time. As I say, I mean, I think what I said in the just in the quick recap mostly holds. It was primarily sort of character scenes last time. There wasn't although saying there wasn't a huge amount of plot going on is probably not true, but there wasn't like any big momentous events that took place. But yeah, there was some scheming and training and general biting of fists at not saying anything. What will have sort of the only thing of particular note that will have happened in the intervening time since last time is obviously something relatively important seems to be going on with the Shang clan, or at least those members of the Shang clan that are present here at the temple, which is a significant portion of them, as they're on the ascendant at the moment. And they've sort of essentially been all called into a big sort of inter-clan convocation of some variety, which obviously does include Learning amongst others. But yeah, so that is sort of going on off screen, unless you wish to interact with it. But I think where we are going to, I think actually what I'm going to do is, because you weren't here last time, Min Yang, I'm going to throw the stage open to you if there is a scene that you would like to frame, or a character you would like to see and interact with. We can get that kicked off, and then I'll sort of start seeing where we're headed for this session.
Okay, I think I would like to visit the rooms or offices of Zhang Long and inquire about the campaign against Golden Soul Scholar.
I think you mean the rock that I seem to be perpetually sitting on at this point.
Yeah, that works. Yes.
There's quite a nice canopy of spider silk over the stream still.
Nice. I will, as I enter into the canopy, I will hold my hand out to one of the spiders in a friendly greeting gesture, and invite one to crawl up my arm and approach you and say, Zhang Long, I trust you are well.
As well as ever.
How goes the recruiting effort to gain forces on our side?
It seems that not everyone shares our concern about the role of demons being involved in the affairs of the kingdom and mortals. In fact, it seems that a number of our colleagues and associates are content with that as long as they have control.
But true control when demons are involved is chancy at best.
My dear men, it is impossible. Demons, the bargains they strike are always for their benefit. Any benefit that we gain from it is fleeting, and only as long as they wish it to exist.
How much do we really know about the demons? Could we maybe improve our odds by learning more about them?
To try to control them or to banish them?
Banish, I'm sure. How do they exert their power? How do they interact with this plane when their home is properly elsewhere?
They require willing anchors.
Golden Soul Scholar seems like one of those.
He is.
Is he enough for them to be anchored here? And whom would we ask if we wanted to find out more?
What he learned from Li Fang made him enough. Were I willing, I could be one of their anchors.
I know you would never do that. Right? You would, I mean, right?
No one should be willing to be one of their anchors, because it isn't just a tether that allows them to be here. It's a form of slavery. And it's a bargain that few understand until they've already made it, and then it is too late. You
Then
seem
we
to have
must-
power and control, but you are actually the servant of a demon.
Well, then we must free Golden Soul Scholar. This is not truly his will.
It was his will initially, and that's enough.
Whom would you like me to talk to? Should I talk to Mirror of the Cloud?
I've spoken with Mirror of the Cloud, and I fear that I was not persuasive enough, that my words were insufficiently compelling.
I will see what I can do. Are you really comfortable? Is there anything I can get for you?
I smile slightly. Is it possible there is one day I would have back
Oh,
to do over, but I fear that is beyond everyone's reach.
may I ask what day that is?
The day Golden Soul Scholar and I went to Master Li Fang and begged him to take us on as apprentices. We were friends once. If I had that day back, I could have my life back. I would have the ability to go where I wanted, do as I wished, love who I please.
Yes.
But that day made me a weapon, an arrow. All I can do is strike at the heart of the demon that rules this realm now.
If you were not an arrow, what whom would it please you to love? Just asking for a friend.
And I think we'll get an inner conflict roll from Min Yang there as well. But you may consider
Right.
your answer anyway, yeah. Zhang Long.
Remind me also about the the roll. But sorry, go ahead.
The inner conflict is you can roll that with any stat except your style element. That's the only one you can't use for that roll.
Okay.
You mark a point of XP just for making the roll, and
Okay.
basically on a 10 up you get to keep cool. On a 7 to 9 you have to flee or mark an element.
Okay, I'm going to roll with wood, which is curiosity.
Yeah.
Because you're just asking for a friend.
Right. That's a 7 total.
Okay, so yeah, on the 7 you either have to remove yourself from the scene, or you can mark a condition and remain in the scene. Your choice.
I will mark a condition.
Cool.
Sure. Let's see if I can get rid of this.
Let me know when you're ready to keep going.
I'm ready. Thank you.
I haven't thought about such things in years, Min. It pains me to consider what might have been, to think of what I could have had.
Maybe we will know peace one day and we'll be released from our obligations.
Perhaps. That would be a nice day.
I will see what I can do to hasten
And as
that
long
day.
as we're wishing for such things,
Yes.
I'd wish to have my sight restored, that I might watch the cherry blossom leaves falling once again.
Absolutely. Of course.
Come, let me teach you a technique I've been studying.
Oh?
You remember the tempest we saw, the spirit of faithful lotus?
Yes.
Let me show you something that I learned while observing. Well, while feeling the wind, I should say. And I would like to teach Min Yang the faithful lotus technique that I picked up. Do I need to roll for that,
Sure.
David?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's a roll needed for that.
Okay.
Okay, training montage.
Of course. You need a montage.
Nice.
You always need a
Yes.
montage.
Yes, awesome. That sounds
Probably
great.
like the sun setting dramatically behind us as we perch on rocks in the stream.
Okay, that sounds awesome. David, where do I mark a condition? Oh, I see.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, I think I said mark. I meant
mark
mark one of your elements. Sorry, I've been
yeah.
playing
Yeah.
other games. Yes, so you mark mark one of your elements. Yeah, sorry.
Is it the one I rolled with, or just any of them?
It can be any. It's your choice.
Okay then. Okay, sounds good. All right, that's a good scene. I think that's.
Yeah, that's cool. Perfect. Thank you. So, I think that yeah, no, I'm going to Mirror of the Cloud. Is there a scene that you would like at the moment, or someone you would like to interact with?
Yes, I think I think what Mirror of the Cloud wants to do right now is Mirror of the Cloud knows that the exhuming of the body caused this spirit to rise up and cause all this. He knows who took it. Most people don't right now. Mirror of the Cloud wants to basically use that information to gain influence in the courts. So
yeah, sure.
Find
Things.
someone that he can, either just reveal that he knows more than he should, or that he can trade this information with.
Yeah.
I mean, Mirror of the Cloud being the trickster and being willing to just violate all the norms of the court, can basically approach anyone and try to use the hearts and minds move. Like, that's what he can do, is he can so I guess in theory he doesn't even need to know this secret information, but
yeah, no,
I think it makes sense that that's what he's trading on at the moment.
No, that sounds perfect. Yeah. So I think, just looking at the people here, so I think that the person that immediately springs to mind as someone who might be interested in this information is Judge Guiying, the head of the Chan clan. He is actually a fairly dedicated man to rooting out criminals and the like. Otherwise, possibly either the Wang or the Liu clans would be interested in this information. But Judge Guiying is probably the most obvious person who would who both is likely to want to know about it and is also more likely to act on it than anyone else.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. So yeah, you find Judge Guiying is in a state office in the temple. He is sat at a desk writing. It has several attendants around him. He's old. He has a very, very long white beard over official robes, and he is. He looks up as you enter the room, and one of the attendants will sort of quickly step up to you, give you a short bow, and say, "Yes, what can we do for you?"
Sorry, I'm trying to go back and find all the names of that town. And
oh yeah, Mile End Village.
Mile End Village.
Yep, and the Duke Frozen Lake is the person you suspect strongly has taken this.
You've heard of the events at Mile End Village?
And the judge looks up and sort of waves, just waves for the attendant to bring you forwards, and it says, I have indeed, young man, and I believe you are one of those who was responsible for putting a stop to that particular disturbance. Is that correct?
Yes, I was there.
Good, good. Sit. And he will gesture to sort of a seating mat in front of the thing. He'll wave at one of the attendants who will sort of bring tea over and begin pouring.
It's not how we put a stop to it that I wanted to talk to you about, but how it started.
That is often the more interesting part of these things. The heroics afterwards are important, of course, but it is our duty to investigate the causes of things.
Sorry, I'm just trying to think how Mirror of the Cloud is going to try to imply that I'm not just going to volunteer this information. I have this information, but I'm not going to just volunteer it. Expecting to, whatever gaining influence would mean, whether it's I'm secretly he's accepted me as someone useful for investigating these things, or he's put some kind of I'm not sure exactly how to say that.
If you want to just if we want to go and make
maybe make the roll
and then see how it goes from there.
Yeah. Okay. What am I rolling to do this?
I think this probably will be a Hearts and Minds, which can just straight up get you a point of influence if you choose.
Yeah, that's definitely what I was trying to do. I will roll water because I think for flexibility, I'm trying to I'm trying to get a read of him and just whatever way will work. If I think just being honest and giving him the information outright will earn the confidence, I'll go that way. If holding out and making demands, whatever will work with him.
Yes, certainly.
That is a 6.
Okay, yeah. So
it sounds like maybe what. So I obviously take the wrong tack. So maybe it would have worked if I just came and volunteered the information. I would have gained some confidence, or I don't know how to.
Yeah.
But I was too cagey for my own good.
I think actually, as you begin to speak to him, and you're kind of alluding that you know of something that might be to his advantage, as it were, or to his interest. When from the master, Judge Gu Ying raises his teacup to sip at it, places it to his lips, and then suddenly hesitates for a moment, and the attendants in the room all shrug off their sort of like formal robes and draw blades, and they charge towards both you and the judge, clearly intending harm to you. And I think with that, I'm just going to cut over to Min Yang. Sorry, not to Min Yang, to Yaling Liu briefly. Is there anything you would like to be up to at the moment? And obviously, as ever, being present to overhear this scene is absolutely kosher if you so choose.
I don't know. I think Yaling might be sneaking elsewhere.
Sure thing, yep.
I wonder if there's a way, like, she's in her servant outfit trying to sneak into the dungeons and figure out if there's, like, a way to free Predictionist Azure Condor. In the hopes that, like, if she figures this out, it's a way to, like, talk to Min Yang and be like, hey, I know how to get him out now.
Yeah, no, that sounds perfect. So yeah, I think we'll make this, unless you have a specific move for doing this sort of thing.
I guess, like, in the past, I used Shadows of Deep Dreams to sort of, like, see where he was.
Yeah, you could go for an approach like that again if you wished, or if you just want to. Otherwise, we can just go for a study roll with obviously it being more about you, like, sneaking down there and looking around. Whichever tack you want to take on it, really.
I'll just do a study roll.
Yeah, sure thing.
And I'll use, I think, wood. I think it's, like, a very, like, she's not in a particular hurry to do this, so she's doing it in a very measured way. Or maybe that's more metal, but they're both 0. So.
Fair.
And that is a 5.
Brilliant.
Yep.
So I think that this this is the point where you you sort of sneak down into the dungeons below the palace. There is there are a few guards who don't really challenge you because you're obviously a senior servant to one of the rulers here. But as you near the cell that you know to be the one that has Azure Condor inside, and you've been kind of like looking for signs of like ways to get out, when from nowhere it seems a hand grabs you by the arm, like very strong, very powerful grip, and their hand feels almost warm, well, warmer than normal. Their hand feels hot as they grasp you by the arm, and the they turn you around, and it looks like quite a big, bulky man, very, very big, bushy beard. But you notice that their eyes are yellowish, and almost doing that like cat's eye reflective thing. And they have a couple of very prominent canine teeth as they snarl at you. And say, you should not be down here. I have specific orders about who is allowed to see the prisoner. And his smile widens, and very specific orders on what I'm allowed to do with them. You can feel the sort of grip tightening as he sort of lunges towards you. And I think actually we'll take our first break there for the evening on those pair of cliffhangers, and we'll come back in about 5 minutes to come back at the top of the hour. So see you all in a moment.
I'm back, David. By the way, on that move, does it say, is it supposed to say seal their soul or steal their soul?
Sorry, I'd put my microphone away. I don't know why. Yes, that is seal their soul temporarily, as in, like, you know, lock them down sort of thing.
Okay. Is there any way it could be like, you know, I think I mentioned the Doctor Strange scene where the Ancient One like pulls his soul straight out of his body, like basically slaps the soul out of him.
Yeah, that was the sort of thing I had in mind. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Sort of like sever the connection briefly between body and
Body
soul.
and soul.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to double check on that because I wanted to make sure that that's what it was getting at. It.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Cool beans. All right. Did you see that video of the, I think it was a grocer in Spain. Somebody started spitting on his oranges and just out of nowhere came and slapped this person so hard that he basically got knocked out. And it was like an open-handed slap. Like it was easily one of the most brutal slaps I have ever seen in my life. It's on video. It's, you know, let me see if I can find it real quick.
Cool. Welcome back, everyone. Oh, I forgot to pause the recording anyway, so I will not unpause. So yeah, cool. So there were well, there's one thing I just wanted to mention first, just like with regard like lines and veils and stuff. I wanted to be like absolutely clear that the pending threat from the guard demon is that he will eat Yaling Liu. Just so you know, we're not going anywhere. We'll cross any lines on that. Well, unless anyone has a line on being eaten by demons, but that is that's the implicit threat there. But yeah, the other thing I would like to do is, I think, very briefly, before we go back into our cliffhangers, I think there will just be a very brief moment where, because I think this seems fair, and I would like to give you both the opportunity to get involved in the scene if you choose. We just get a quick shot of the stream where Minyang and Zhang Long have just finished up their conversation when we'll see two spiders kind of like swarming up in front of Zhang Long, and they'll almost be doing that kind of like, you know, me first, no, me first thing, as they report the almost simultaneous attacks on Yaling Liu and Mirror of the Cloud within the palace. So if you wish to react to either of those, then the both of you can feel free to go to them as you wish. But we'll give the people involved a moment to react first, and we will start by going back in to see. I just see. Cool. Yeah. So we'll see the attendants, or more properly, the assassins disguised as attendants, who are coming for the judge and Mirror of the Cloud. So, Mirror of the Cloud, what do you do as these as these assassins come towards you, they have they've all pulled like long knives that they're and yeah, they're sort of bounding across the room towards you.
I'm trying to picture the layout where we were.
Yeah, so it's like a large office, like one of those, almost like a there's a specific film I am thinking of, though I can't bring it to mind at the moment. But yeah, it's almost like a sort of like library. It's got like sort of long walls of shelves with scrolls and books along the walls. Several like desks set up down the room for like junior clerks and attendants to work at, and then sort of the big desk at the head of the room, which is where you're currently sat.
So I think my initial reaction is just to I'm just going to throw my chair at the feet of one of them, to just, even if it just slows them down so they're not all reaching me at the same time.
Yeah, awesome.
And then
that is cool. So I'm just double checking if there's a. Yeah, so I think I think you'll be able to do. You'll sort of throw a chair at one of them. It sort of slows him down. I think he will fling his knife back at you, but you dodge out of the way in whatever fashion most suits, as the knife sort of jams into a bookcase. They will. I think the judge is momentarily shocked. He's kind of getting to his feet, because they're not staggering to his feet, because he is still an incredibly skilled martial artist. So he does get up quickly, and he is clearly going for. There's a sword hanging up on the wall behind his desk, which he is making a move towards. The assassins have kind of started to like try and circle around you, but you've managed to kind of control their way. So they're basically coming at you head on at the moment.
Okay. I think the next thing, Mira will try to rush at one of them, and then get close enough to him that he'll have difficulty, getting his knife for him to stab me, and I'm kind of want to get grappled up, tied up with him, and almost use him as a shield against any of the others that try to attack. Like I'm too tangled up with him for them to be free to. Yeah.
Sure thing. So yeah, if we'll go for making a deal with troops roll here, which is when you fight a group of foes who are collectively below your scale. So you roll with your style element.
Okay. That is a 10, I think. Yeah.
That is a 10. Perfect. You describe, you get to describe how you take out this gang of assassins, and on a 10+ you do so easily. So feel free to describe this as impressively as you would like.
Yeah. So yeah, he closes with the one, and just like with a quick maneuver, kind of slides up behind him and is like holding on to his arm, and then just the rest of them are kind of trying to. So he's kind of immobilized in his grip, and then as the others try to like come in, to to stab. He's just moving so that he's just using the one of them as a shield against the others. And maybe even actually, like, this guy, this one is getting kind of sliced up by his compatriots, and then when they're done, he's dropped, and he essentially just moves on to the next one, and then the last one just gets choked out.
Yeah, perfect. The as sort of the last of them drops to the floor, you kind of look back over your shoulder, and the judge is there. He has his sword in hand, and clearly, like, he's in a readied stance, but you get the feeling that he's just been watching you to see how you dealt with this. He smiles and says, "Nicely done, young man. You certainly showed them a thing or two. I suspect that I have been under observation for precisely what reason I can't say, but they certainly did not seem to take kindly to whatever you were trying to tell me. He will indicate for you to sit down again if you wish, and he will say, "So, I will hear what you have to say. It is clearly something of some importance. I would advise against the tea, however, it is quite poisoned."
That is a shame. Well, if
also for Claudia, you will be getting your a point of influence for this, because you single-handedly saved the judge from these assassins. So
it's listed that I have one influence. I don't know. Do we start with one?
I think so. Yeah, I think everyone started with one influence, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Well, if they were sent to prevent me from talking to you, then they were sent by what's his name? Duke Frozen Lake.
Indeed, that's one of Golden Soul Scholars Inner Circle, I believe. That does put things in a rather tricky position for certain. And he sort of glances over at the assassins, but these could certainly be his men. I know he has a number of assassins in his employ.
Well, less now.
Yes, a fact I shall certainly not be losing any sleep over.
Now I'm trying to remember where Duke Frozen Lake was taking.
Oh, that's to Mount Fang.
Mount Fang.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I would also let him know that.
That is disturbing, certainly. I understand dealing with these demons is quite the in thing these days, but I confess I find it disturbing, and Well, if you are able to apprehend this the Duke, then he is still at least technically bound by the laws of the land, and I am sure I could bring that to bear should the need arise.
It seems quite likely.
Well, if that is all, Mirror of the Clouds, I suppose I should see if I can find my actual attendants and get this place cleaned up.
I hope they're all right.
Yes, as do I. Awesome. And so, with that, I think we will flash over to the back to the dungeons as this burly, demon in guard's uniform has Yaling Liu by one arm, is baring his teeth in a distinctly predatory fashion. Yaling, what do you do?
I try and look as primly shocked as possible as I whack his hand with my fan and try to step back, saying I've been sent here by Consorts over Starlight to as a courtesy to other clan leaders. And as I say that, can I be studying him, maybe?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. I think you are obviously able to just break away from him, because I think the fact that you just hit him with a fan kind of surprises him as much as anything else. But yeah, feel free to as ever choose whichever stat you feel most appropriate to study.
As with the water, he's just basically eyes doing that up and down, trying to figure out, can I take this person if he tries to eat me, type of thing. That is 10.
10, perfect. So you get to hold 2, which you can spend as ever to ask a question about the situation, a person, about their scale, or to add in a detail of your own to the scene. Your choice. You don't have to spend them both at once, but you can feel free to spend them as you wish.
I guess first one is, what is the demon guard scale?
Yeah, sure. So you in terms of martial skill, you think that you're better than him, but he is a demon and is powerful and strong. So he's on your scale. Though, like I said, you're probably the better. Combatant. But he is a demon, is stronger and tougher than a human.
All right. And then I guess, what can I see of the dungeons around me? Are there hidden threats, or maybe things I can see out of the corner of my eye?
Yeah. So the thing that you will notice is that this part of the dungeon, this cell, it is very specifically, is actually down a sub floor of stairs, the bit it opens up into is more like natural cave rather than the worked sort of basements of above. And you think you know this is obviously they've been put down here because it's not as easy to because it's sort of out of the way, but the benefit to that from your perspective is that it's that there's like no one else is immediately watching over this area of the dungeon. You're sort of on you're a bit off to the side, you're a bit on your own.
I think like I'll cross my arms. Is this how Golden Soul Scholar allows his guards to treat just members of other clans?
It is not about what Golden Soul Scholar allows. It is about the deal that has been struck. I guard the prisoners brought down here. Anyone who comes down here that isn't supposed to be here, I get to eat. That's the limit of my deference to any mortal.
But you don't get to eat the prisoners.
No. Well.
Wouldn't it be easier to eat the prisoners? Like, they're most definitely here, and they're trapped. Whereas, you don't know how many people are going to come here that you can eat.
I get to eat the prisoners when they're finished with them.
I could, like, peek into the cell. Is Azure Condor in the cell?
Yes, you can see that he is inside this this cell. Again, it looks more like a natural cave, but that has been kind of blocked off with a cell door. He is, as you saw him in your vision before, he is strapped to a sort of stone pillar, and again, you can feel heat coming out of this room. It's a lot hotter than you know than sort of the ambient temperature. It's a lot hotter, and you can see he is looking quite drained and quite weak.
Just like tap my fan against like the bars of the cell. It seems like you might be almost ready to eat this one.
Hopefully soon, yeah.
So you don't need to eat me because you're going to get to eat him soon.
Yeah, but I'd like to eat you. And I get to, so... Look, if you would like to make a hearts and minds roll, I will let you hear, because you have invoked your mistress here. So I think you've definitely got his attention.
I think I'm going to try to do that.
Yeah, sure thing.
Let's see, how am I doing this? I think we're going to use water and like a sort of, I'm trying to do cartwheels around you so that you don't eat me type of flexibility.
Sure thing.
That is a 10.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I think he kind of, you can see him kind of like licking his lips, but then he goes, I suppose it might cause issues if the master finds out. We won't say master. If they find out that you've if your mistress gets wind of this, so this one time, I'll let you run on out of here. But if I catch you back here again, that's it.
Well, that would require you to catch me the next time I'm here.
Oh, I'll be waiting.
Are you here very often?
I'm always here, always watching.
Except for when you're eating the prisoner.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. I'll just... There's no chance you'll let me talk to him.
No.
Okay. And I think I'm just gonna start backing up out of the dungeon. It was nice to have a chat with you. Thanks for not eating me.
And I think you just hear kind of like a grunt, and you almost see that sort of like a bigger, burlier, nastier Cheshire cat sort of thing as he just sort of fades back into the shadows of the dungeon. But yes, you are able to extract yourself from the rest of the dungeons without incident. The rest of the guards here are fairly relaxed about your presence. Cool. So yeah, I'll just check in with. Obviously, the immediate cliffhangers have been resolved, but Minyang, Zhang Long, what will have been your reaction to the spiders? What were your what would your plans have been? Dealing with these two situations.
Minyang, it appears that events have changed.
I feel like I should be there. Just to help however I can.
Perhaps this will render people more amenable or more agreeable to our position.
Perhaps I'll let you know what I find out.
Will you go to Mirror of the Cloud?
Absolutely.
I will talk to Yaling Liu again. And with any luck, I may have a better outcome this time. And I smile.
I let the spider crawl off my body and I leave. Go find Mirror of the Cloud.
Awesome. Yeah. So I think we'll see. In fact, yeah, we'll go with you and Mirror of the Cloud first. So Mirror of the Cloud, or Mirror of the Cloud. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I was getting that wrong for a second. Where does Minyang manage to find you?
Gosh, I don't know.
Or Min Yang, where would you like to catch up with Mirror of the Cloud?
I maybe in a private room or private offices, or alternately walking the grounds of the temple of the palace where we are.
Yeah, I imagine Mirror of the Cloud being somewhere where you can just kind of observe a lot of, whoever's coming and going.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where that would.
So, coming and going from the temple, so like outside, by the entrance, or on the roof, as Yaling Liu suggests.
That'd be fun. That's fun. Sure.
Okay. You're on the roof, and I see you on the roof, and I execute a kung fu maneuver to bounce off the walls, parkour style, and find my way up to the roof with you.
Nice.
Always a good opportunity for that. And I'll be, are you all right? I heard you were in trouble.
I suppose that's always a bit true, but no, I'm okay.
All right. Zhang Long's spiders told me you might need assistance.
So you were sent by the spiders?
Well, unless it's official business, nobody sends me anywhere. I come where I go where I please. But I wanted to find out from you what more you might have learned about the demons.
I mean, there are many demons.
Zhang Long and I are trying to weaken the demon's hold on this court. And if that means deposing Golden Soul Scholar, then that's what it has to take. I have my own curiosities about the demons, but this is a worthy enterprise. It's maybe easier to study them from a position of strength than from an out of favor position where I am now. And where you are now, frankly. So will you help us?
Golden Soul
Yeah, go ahead.
Scholar. He's indebted himself to the demons in a way that I agree is dangerous.
Yes, dangerous.
So
Sorry. Um, I think I'm going to need to make a interconflict roll to see
Sure thing. Yep.
how mirror proceeds here. What would you be willing?
David, do we do that thing in this game where if we miss a roll, we gain experience, or
No, not on
okay.
general rolls. No.
Okay. Just curious.
No, it's just entanglements and a couple of specific things. So yeah, in a conflict, you gain a point of XP every time you roll it at all. You can, one of the options if you roll a miss when you're fighting troops, grants your XP as well.
Okay, cool.
I think maybe I would be rolling fire, but that's checked. So earth then?
Sure thing.
That's a 5. So what does that mean?
So yeah, this is I wish I hadn't used my send-in assassins earlier, because this would be another perfect opportunity for that. However, I think what will I think actually instead what will happen is there will be a chuckle from like one of the sort of wooden carvings around the roof that you're on, and you will recognize the voice as Tian Ning steps around from behind it and says, well, plotting insurrection against Golden Soul Scholar, are we? He will be most intrigued to hear about this, and perhaps it will go some way to making up for the disruption you've caused to my career. And he will smirk.
What's his level like compared to mine?
It's probably about equal.
Okay.
I'd say he's not like a super skilled, but he's decent. He probably in terms of like socially, he is. He doesn't quite have the position that you have, but he is in a more favored clan, and he's also been slightly out of favor personally at the minute. But yes, I think probably all in all, he's about equal socially as well as martially.
Okay. Can we fight him?
Absolutely.
Keep him from reporting back. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. I think we'll probably go straight into a dual sequence here. So just to sort of explain how this works, there's a couple of you in the scene. If you if you you can obviously both like describe it. One person will be making the dual roll. If the other person wants to make a support roll to aid them, they can. Obviously, if one of you doesn't want to actually get involved in the fight, they don't have to. But obviously, only one person will make the dual move. Though, if one person fails, then the other person can potentially then at that point step in and take over. But yeah, we. So yeah, I'll drop us back into the description though, and to sort of remind, because it's been a couple of weeks since we last had a duel. The way the duel works is once we get into it, we'll just do a bit backwards and forwards description of what's going on before the roll comes in and determines how the conflict works out. But yeah, so I think as this sort of starts up after his moment of gloating, you can see that Qianning is obviously just is going to make his exit from the scene. He goes to leap down from the roof, but you can of course at this point start acting if you wish.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in his way for sure. I'm gonna break out my 3-section staff.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think as you sort of interpose him, he does that thing. He kind of leaps up, and he'll kind of kick out at your leg as he hops down onto one of the lower sections of roof. He's clearly at the minute more interested in getting away than in actually engaging you, though that may not continue to be the case.
Okay. Do I make a roll then?
Yeah, or I'm going to ask Mirror of the Cloud, what are you doing as Min Yang goes for Tianning?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just backing up Min Yang.
Sure thing, yeah.
I knew you were good people. Okay. So right when Tianning jumps up, I jump up also. We do a little tussle in midair before landing back down on different rooftops, I think, or maybe the same rooftop.
Yeah, and I think at this point, he's obviously at the point you've actually properly engaged him. He's not going to back down from the fight because that's not the sort of person he is. He pulls I think that he is I just want to double check that I'm not. Yeah, I think that he actually pulls a fan. It's one of those ones that obviously has like iron spines, and he's trying to kind of he's striking. He's not actually trying to parry the 3-section staff itself, but he's like trying to like whack at your wrist as you come in with a strike, and then try and sort of flick it across your face as you come in for him. Yeah, and if you'd like to make a roll, so this has to be with your style element.
Sure. Yeah. He should have good luck with that. Let's see. Did I?
Oh, and if you wish to make a support roll, Mirror of the Cloud, you can do.
5. Okay, +2 is 7.
Sure.
Plus any support that I get.
I don't think there will be enough support to tip that over. Though you can still make the roll if you wish to. Mirror the Cloud, just because you can always bank the bond for later if you wish.
Sure. I don't know what I'm rolling this with.
If you're kind of getting involved in the fight directly, then you could roll with your style element would be an obvious choice. If you're more just kind of not getting involved, but just kind of giving, emotional support, as it were, then, anything could potentially work. But
I'm just rolling style. 7.
7. Yeah, on a hit, assuming they're accepting their support, which I believe they are. They can either clear a checked element or gain a bond with you. You can choose either of those as you see fit. Min Yang. Obviously, the bond won't help you immediately in this situation, but it might help later, or you can clear a condition.
Is it my choice or Mira's choice?
It's your choice. Yep. Which clothes you get?
I already have a bond with Mirror of the Cloud. I'll clear one of my conditions, one of my elements.
Yep, sure thing. Awesome. But yeah, on a 7 to 9 for a duel, you can choose one of the following. You can choose to win at a cost. You will, which can include marking an element. They escape. You lose reputation, and then there's a few others that are put in below because of the sort of scale that we're playing at, which are to unleash destruction and destroy or reshape the battlefield, specifically only if that's you would otherwise want to preserve it, to reveal a secret at hurt bystanders, to be cursed, or to invoke divine displeasure. The other options that you have are to narrate your loss, which will give you a point of XP. Obviously, you will lose the fight, but you will take +1 forward when you next face them. Or you fight to a deadlock and may either reveal a detail or ask a question about them, and presumably things will carry on for a time.
So it sounds like I don't really have a way to prevent Tianning from spilling the beans, basically.
No, you can. So the win at a cost is they escape is one of the choices. So you could choose to win at a cost and sort of have them at your mercy still.
I think I will narrate my loss. So we're flying around, and I am trying to stay out of the way of that metal fan, but I'm spinning with my staff too fast, and I lose track of where my head is, and Tianning gets a good whack at me with a full strength folded up fan right across the back of the head, and sends me clattering down from rooftop to lower rooftop to lower rooftop to the ground, and then I think they don't follow me down to the ground. It just skips off and goes about his merry way. So that I get experience.
Yep.
And I'm not stopping him because I'm busy, jumping to catch you, so you don't.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Falling off the roof.
I was just going to give you that choice, but you've made it for me, so that's great.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, yeah, then I'd fall into your arms. Great. Yeah. Mirror of the Cloud. Where am I? Thank you. I'm in your debt.
I'm afraid both of us are in is a lot of trouble.
The time for quiet action may be past. I fear we may be arrested. We might need to flee.
Awesome. And I think with that, we will cut over to Zhang Long as they meet up with Yaling Liu.
So, I was wondering if, as Yaling was like exiting the dungeons, I kind of want to use one of these courtly moves.
Oh yeah, go for it. Go for it.
And then maybe Zhang Long will come in during it, at it, depending on how it goes. But I want to use the game of court.
Yeah.
With my influence and basically talk to like the guard manager person in charge and try and see if I can switch out who is guarding Azure Condor so that I can obtain obtain access to protected person.
Yeah, sure thing. That sounds good.
All right, so I'll roll. Use it just with influence and not an element.
So yeah, you basically you choose to spend a number of points of influence. I think, is there a max? No, there isn't technically a maximum. So yeah, you spend as many points of influence as you wish, and then roll with a bonus equal to the number of points of influence that you've spent.
I will.
So it's a kind of wager type situation.
I'm gonna roll. I'll use both of my points of influence.
Yep, perfect.
So that's 2, and this goes. Okay, I didn't need to spend that much influence, apparently. That was 12.
12, perfect. So on a 10 plus, you get to choose 2 results from the list below. Okay. I will point out as well, one of those choices is gain +1 influence, so you can kind of get one of those back if you wish. Or obviously, well, there's plenty of others as well, but that are of interest. So yeah, you can choose to alienate a key ally, be subject to or avoid an investigation, conceal all traces of your involvement, gain a reputation, lose or gain favorable position. Obviously, the one you're specifically going for, the obtain or close off access to a protected object or person, slow or divert someone's plots, spend resources, take or lose control of a key location or resource, or gain 1 influence.
Oh, I think I'm going to obtain the access to protected person. And I feel like if I choose one of these and it just leaves the other things open, which is it's like I could conceal all traces of my involvement, or I could I'll just gain the influence back. So
Sure thing. So yeah, I think that the result of this is you'll basically be able to have a word with the captain of the guard, essentially, and she will offer to she'll basically offer to escort you down there to see the prisoner.
Okay.
And obviously, if you're being escorted by her, then you'll be safe from the demon.
Okay. I don't know if maybe Zhang Long saw some of me exerting my influence, maybe, or...
So, a little bit later, where are you?
Yeah, I would say that, like, I decided to, like, not immediately go down with the guard, like maybe the captain of the guard is busy or something. So a little bit later, I am walking on my way to the Wu clan's quarters.
Are you like walking through a garden or something, or across a bridge, or?
It's like, I think it's like across one of those like small bridges, and there's like just a water fixture underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a very long bridge.
Gotcha. Well, although you didn't hear anything, suddenly you say, "Good day, Yaling."
I think I look up first, and then spin in a circle.
I'm just standing behind you on the bridge.
Have you been following me?
Not personally.
I should have guessed.
Did you enjoy your discussion with the guard?
How long have you been following me with your many eyes?
Yaling, I thought you had realized by now that I'm wherever I want to be.
See, so you saw the part where I was
demon
not
was-
eaten.
Yes, the demon was talking about making you a snack. Yes.
And I assume you are here to use that as some sort of proof that all demons are not to be trusted.
I should consider that self-evident.
Well,
They're demons.
what's to say that demons are not capable of making their own choices?
If they were, they would not be demons yelling.
I'll sigh and fling open my fan and just spin in a circle. I suppose to argue about the nature of demons, one would require a more philosophical area of expertise than either of us might be known for.
One would require a practical working knowledge of demons. And of that I have an abundance.
Their practical working knowledge may be tinted by personal circumstances. We are,
Oh, you refer to the loss of my sight.
yes, and well, forgive me, I would not call you the most level-headed person when it comes to demons.
My dear Yaling, I'm quite level-headed. And I assure you, my sight is unaffected. It is different now.
It
I
is
see
quite
it
expansive.
from, yes, it is quite expansive, and I see everything from many angles.
How far does your sight extend? We are speaking of circumstances that affect more than just the palace, more than just our clans. Can you see into the expanses of the empire, or whatever we have, the small villages?
And to that question, I ask you one of mine. Do you suppose a spider is there?
Oh. Yes. Do they all speak to you?
When I wish. The more remote they are, the more effort it takes. The more I have to concentrate and focus. With the spiders who are near me, we communicate quite well. With one that is a vast distance away, I may only be able to communicate with that spider for that time.
And these faraway spiders, do the demons hurt those who are not at court, who have no power?
Demons prey on everyone, my dear Yaling. They've been given a foothold in this world, and they want to take more. And even now they possess people in villages. For now, it's small evils. The evil of a tax collector collecting too much tax and pocketing from some for themselves. Of cooks not providing as much food as people paid for. Of farmers intentionally blighting another farmer's crops. The small malignancies. But they'll grow, and they will spread, and that influence will be felt. For the time being, it starts as pettiness. Soon, open division. After that, open war. A war of all against all. So, we can do nothing. And whoever remains can rule over a kingdom of ash and cinder.
I think Yaling is anxiously flipping the fan shut, flipping it open, back and forth. And I think I might have to roll in a conflict here.
That sounds fair. Yep, that sounds fair.
And it's anything that is not my style element.
That is correct.
So, that's sad. We will be thinking about this. Using, I think, earth, maybe. Or wait, maybe wood. Maybe this is a growing moment, potentially. Okay, that is a 9.
So yeah, on a 9, you either have to exit the scene or mark one of your elements.
Let's see. I guess I'll mark an element. Because my brain was like, the only way to exit the scene is to jump into the water, which seems not particularly good. So I'll go with marking wood. And I think she crosses her arms and taps the fan on her chin. So how do you propose to remove the demonic influence at court?
First, we seal the breach at Mount Fang, cutting off their entry point for reinforcements to get aid Then you must banish the demons who are here and exorcise the demon that is bound to Golden Soul Scholar Shang. And after that, you will have to kill the ones who have knowledge of how to bring the demons back.
You?
Yes,
Speaking to me or to a plural you? Why do you not
I
include
smile.
yourself?
I smile ruefully. You will need to kill us all. And this is something that I cannot ask Lei Ning or Min Yang to do.
And you know that I am driven by more than personal ties.
I know you seek power. But I also know that of everyone involved, you have the most knowledge of what it is like to have no power. I think you might wield it judiciously, sparingly, and for the benefit of everyone.
But others need to see that I can do that first. If you are dead, then who will support me?
You see, I've been thinking about this. We need to make you the hero. And I will need to become the villain.
I see. We put on a play. But somehow
After
everyone
we-
else needs to know their parts in.
If the only two who know the play are you and I, everyone else will react as they should. After we dispatch Golden Soul Scholar, I'll behave as though I was seeking that power all along. And you'll be the one to separate my head from the remainder of my body. And only you can know the truth.
I think the fan opens up, and I think Yaling hides most of her face behind it. And I think there's the teeniest nod. And I think she'll turn around to walk away.
Perfect. So I think we will take our last break there. Come back about 1:15. I'll let you remember to pause recording this time. Awesome. So welcome back, everyone. So we're coming. We've got probably about half hour or so of playtime left, I guess, just a bit over. What my thoughts are for the remainder of this evening. I think probably where I'd like to pick up next time is probably going to be on the road to or arriving at Mount Fang. So we've got kind of a session there, and then another session back at the palace afterwards. So the things that I see sort of playing out immediately are obviously Min Yang and Mirror of the Cloud obviously leaving the palace before they are apprehended by the guard, and also presumably Yaling Liu getting Azure Condor out of the dungeons. I am ambivalent as to whether we resolve those in scenes or not. I'm happy for them to just be things that happen in the background or whatever. But I'm also happy to do them as scenes if we want to see them played out. But yeah, like I said, I think my main thing is I'd like to sort of get us on the road to Mount Fang by the end of the session at least, and possibly just a couple more inter-character scenes. I know a fair few people at this point, I think, are carrying marked elements. So if we want to have just some comfort and support type scenes set up, that's also cool. Or even if you just want to have little montages, that is another way you can deal with elements. You can just frame up a little montage of what your character is doing to sort of get over that. So yeah, I think I know that we have just come out of a scene with Yaling Liu, but I guess I'm interested in, do you want to sort of play out the prison break, or is that something you'd rather just kind of we assume that courtly move has resolved it? I'm good either way. I
don't think I'll spend too much time on that. I was wondering if there's a chance for are Min Yang and Mirror of the Cloud like immediately fleeing, or is there potentially a way for Yaling to be like, hey, meet Azure Condor somewhere or something?
Yeah, I'll throw that over to Min Yang and Zhang Long. Sorry, Mirror of the Cloud. I didn't get the impression that they were like literally fleeing at that second, but I got the impression it was going to be fairly imminent.
I mean, I've got scrolls.
My spiders could carry a message.
Yes. I've got business to tidy up. I'm a magistrate. It takes me a while.
And
yeah,
I have the ability to have sword will travel, so I reserve the right to show up in any scene that anybody does. That's
cool. Yeah, no, I love those moves.
Whether I'm fleeing or not.
That's just
I have flying daggers. I can burn a bond with someone to just arrive where they are.
Perfect. I played a game of Heart where I played the sort of masked vigilante type, and they have a very similar move. So it's like always at the beginning. So it's like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm going to disappear into the crowd. Like,
nice.
I'll show up when I feel like it. But yeah, no, that's cool. So yeah, so in that case, yeah, I think actually in which case, I think maybe what I'd like to what maybe we can do is just do a very quick group montage of the prison break. Actually, I'm going to steal the way of doing this from one of the best bits from Fellowship, actually, which I'm going to start off with I'll start things off with Yaling Liu. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, if you ask one of the other characters a question about how, basically set them up with a challenge or something to overcome, and ask them how they get around that challenge in this process of breaking Azure Condor out, and then we'll kind of go, when that person has sort of resolved their thing, they'll then ask a question of the next player, and so on and so forth, until everyone's had a chance to just frame up a quick vignette scene of this prison break. If people are happy with that approach.
Yeah, I just got to think of a question.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I gave the job to you. That's it's.
So just to make sure. So I talked to whoever's in charge of handling the guard duties, and we're gonna get taken down to the. I'm going to get taken down to the prison by the captain of the guard, but it's up to us to break out,
Yeah.
do all the rest of the hard work.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And I need to ask a question that is like a challenge that someone else has to.
That's right. Yep.
I guess, is everyone helping with the prison break? Or is it just like some of us?
I assumed that at least Min Yang and Zhang Long would be up for this, as it's their faction leader. But do feel free to contradict, and then I'll leave it up to Mira if they're interested in getting involved too.
I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound, right? I'm already wanted.
Yeah, I guess that's my question then, is to Min Yang. We are going into the dungeons where there are many guards. How do you avoid detection?
I don't know how fast word has gotten out. You know, Tian Ning needed to go rat us out, and then that word needed to get out to all the guards. But I will fight all of the guards if necessary to free Azure Condor. Bring it.
Awesome. Yeah. So if you would like to pose a question to one of the other people involved in this, yeah. Sorry, yes, that is Min Yang.
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Sorry, yeah, we'll kind of pass it like sort of round robin type thing.
Yeah. I guess as Zhang Long, are you? Is there any way I can help you succeed? Make sure that are you going to be all right in this effort?
You're asking me that?
Unnecessarily, I'm sure.
I mean, the short version is yes, I'll be fine.
I'm here to assist you if I can.
Isn't the broader question kind of posing a challenge that I would need to overcome?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Oh, okay. Right. The are you challenged by my hotness? No. It sounds like there are a lot of demons that we'll be encountering, and they have to know that you're not a fan. So how do you plan to overcome the demons?
Plan to slap the soul right out of their bodies.
All right.
Why do you think I learned that technique about, like, I basically wanted to, like, pull people's souls out, hold them there, because it'll make it. Bodies don't work so well when they aren't animated by something.
I hope that what you pull out is a soul and not something worse out of a demon.
Maybe I pull a human out of the demon. Who knows?
Let's find out.
And then, Brian, did you want to be involved in this?
I'm not opposed, but I don't have to be.
Well, do you want to be?
No, I don't think I need to be.
Okay. So I guess we have the beginnings of a plan, I guess.
Yeah. If you'd like to ask, in that case, if you'd like to put the last question back round to Yaling and close the circle, and yeah.
Do we have anybody in charge of getting Azure Condor out of there?
Not specifically, no, not yet. That's sort of one part that hasn't been done yet.
Okay.
So yeah, that can be.
What is your plan to get Azure Condor out with as few people noticing outside of the dungeon as possible?
It's all a game of bribery and influence and talking my way out of people's questioning looks and just basically like walking like I know what I'm doing. If you walk with confidence, no one can question whether or not you're actually supposed to be transporting that prisoner.
Nice, I like it. So yeah, we get this kind of Ocean's 11 style scene of this heist going on. We obviously have Min Yang sort of engaging with the mundane guards while Zhang Long deals with those demons that remain here, and
I am curious. Sorry to interrupt. Do the guards know already that I am being sought after, or do I still have my magistrate's authority?
I think that I think it's maybe sort of I think that they obviously have been informed that's so yeah, you're sort of you're engaging them, and then you finally manage to sort of get out of there with as your condor. Some more guards stop you on the way out, but Yaling brazens past them, and you all kind of leap up onto waiting horses and ride off into the sunset. I think at this point, Azure Condor will kind of go to ground on his own. He has his own plans in place to do stuff. Though obviously, if anyone wants to have a quick scene with him, that's cool. But he won't be traveling with you to Mount Fang, put it that way, unless you specifically request him to do so and persuade him to do so. But yeah. So yeah, I think. Oh, sorry.
Can I use like my helping him escape from prison and like roll impress?
Yeah, go for it.
Or something.
Yeah, I think that sounds fair. Yeah, no, impress is probably a good one for that to represent you trying to kind of
curry favor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I'll do that with presence. This is all perfectly planned. I see. Okay, that is a 7 plus 2 is 9.
Nice. So on a 9, I think that means you choose. Sorry, I just got lost in my tabs. I think you choose one from the list. Oh no, sorry. You always choose
2.
You always choose 2, but I get to offer a complication or hard choice.
I'll gain an influence, and is gain a favor like I can in the future have them do something for me?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Okay, and I will gain a favor.
Okay, sure thing. So I think that the choice I'm going to give you is that this is going to be traced back to you, and it is going to put Consort Silver Starlight in an awkward position. So the choice I'm going to give you, and this is more the choice I'm giving you as a player, rather than something specifically that Yaling decides, is that when she is confronted by Golden Soul Scholar, does if Silver Starlight stands up for and stands by Yaling, she is going to be imprisoned herself, or she will side with Golden Soul Scholar and assist in the hunt for Yaling.
Oh, that's a fun option. I don't want her to be eaten, so she can side with Golden Soul Scholar and come hunt us down. Love to be chased.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, you will be able to make your escape. And I think I'm just, like I said, we've got about 20 minutes to go. So I'm just going to give you an option to either have one big scene with everyone together, or if you want to split up into some smaller scenes, you can do so. And just, I think just give you a little bit of, not that you've not had lots of scenes together already, but just give you a moment to like have some reflecting as your as things are coming to a head. So I think, in fact, actually, I'm going to ask first. At this point, has Mirror of the Cloud joined back up with the others?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Awesome. So yeah, I guess does do people feel like a big group scene, or does anyone have some like more one-on-one stuff they want to do still?
Sorry, my dogs.
No, that's okay.
I'm open to
I
whatever.
was on mute. Sorry. No, I don't need to notice them.
Cool.
Maria?
Ryan? Yeah, I don't really. I mean, we have a lot of conditioned or checked elements we could potentially clear, but I don't have a strong need. I can still check some things.
Let's see. Yeah, because I have 2 checked elements as well. I guess.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, if rather than just having like a kind of big general scene, if people just want to frame little like vignettes on the sort of road to Mount Fang, that's cool as well. I think that would be nice.
I mean, it'd be kind of nice to do comfort and support on the road to Mount Fang.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'd at least like to try to help Maria because she's got 2 clears. She's got 2 checked elements.
Is Zhang Long really a comforting figure in Yaling's life, though?
I mean, I think the way that it would probably start is like riding up alongside you and saying, this is a tremendous weight I'm asking you to carry.
You talked to me once about the prices I was willing to pay. It seems more like a price that you're willing to pay.
Do you understand how strongly I believe this now?
I've grown up thinking about my place in court, and with people who were ambitious and wanted power, it's hard for me to consider that all of those people might have been wrong.
My dear Yaling, people who seek power are almost always wrong because they don't seek to use it for the benefit of others.
I would hope that if I ever become powerful, I was not have to work for the power that I have. Maybe that's a difference. Maybe?
People who work for something often appreciate what they have more than those who have it given to them. I think you'll be a good leader. I think you will be a just leader. And I think in time you will be a wise leader.
Is this a should roll?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I was asking as Maria.
I don't know. Does that feel like it's time to roll, David?
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Yeah.
Alrighty. And basic moves, comfort and support.
Yes, so this one is, as ever, roll with whichever element you feel most appropriate. If they accept
style
your
element.
words, that can be style element. It can be any of the 5, basically, for that one. If you get a 10+, you also get to clear an element or other things.
Okay, I will roll with Earth, +1. And that's an 8.
Okay, so on an 8, I should say, Yaling gets to either clear a checked element or gain a bond with Zhang.
Okay. Yeah, so I will clear wood. And I think she's accepting like the words. And I think it's hard to accept, but it's coming from someone that she's clashed with enough that fact maybe makes the words land harder. Like, he doesn't like me, but he's willing to say that. I'll take it.
Nice. I like it. Cool. So yeah, I think we'll skip along to Mirror of the Cloud. Would you like a moment with any of the other characters, whether to do like a comfort and support type thing, or just to do ask any questions?
I think Mary would want to talk to Zhang Long.
Cool.
Zhang Long. Min Yang is quite devoted to you.
Min Yang is a very loyal person.
I think you are more dedicated to your cause than you are to anyone else.
I have something I believe in. I have a purpose. And a clear task. It is hard for me to fit people into that in any way other than as allies or opponents.
You should be careful using people as tools.
I try not to. I try not to treat people like they're pieces on a chessboard. But still, I have certainty. And this is something that must be done.
I'm going to just ask. So, Zhang Long, do you feel like that was a comfort to you? Because it felt like it wasn't necessarily the kindest read as such, but it also felt like it did hit on a truth.
Mm-hmm. We can do that.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, Mirror of the Cloud, if you would like to roll with whatever element you feel most appropriate in that situation. I'm wondering metal maybe, but feel free to choose whichever you feel.
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe Earth, actually.
Yeah, sure thing.
I think so. 7.
Cool. So yeah, once again, that means that Zhang Long, you get to either clear an element or gain a bond with Mirror of the Cloud.
I cleared water.
Nice, thank you. Yeah, Min Yang, is there a little scene you would like to frame up? Again, that doesn't necessarily have to be doing like aiming for comfort and support or anything like that. But if there's just a last little moment you'd like to leave us on.
Yeah, I'm going to just look at Zhang Long from afar and, from a couple horse lengths back and catch up with Mirror of the Cloud after Mirror speaks with Zhang. And I'm just going to say this has been a day of terrible reversals for us. We used to have a place at the court, and now we're fugitives, and everything depends on Mount Fang. What did you speak to Zhang Long about, if I might pry? Has he given you any indication? Is there a heart in there? I mean, he's kind and all, and has a sense of mischief, but it's all about the cause.
I think his heart may be spun from webs at this point.
Oof. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm just going to keep on writing, and I'll be staring at Zhang Long's back. I'll leave it up to Puckett whether there are any hidden spiders on my horse. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to talk to him.
There's a spider that just kind of sadly droops a little bit
Oh,
on your shoulder.
nice.
Oh, can I try and overhear that?
Oh, absolutely. You have your move.
I just like with eavesdropping on people on their horses.
Yeah.
We're using awareness of water, and I just want to have like blackmail material.
You're going to mark the
is that
element
right?
I just checked, aren't you? I just helped you uncheck.
Oh, it's okay. I didn't do it very well. I rolled 4 + 2 is 6. So yeah.
Okay.
I hear and see nothing as my superiors catch and punish me.
So I'll take a slightly different tack on that, but I think as you are kind of trying to listen in on the conversation, you're sort of like paying attention to their conversation. When suddenly you feel somewhat cold breath on your cheek as she would be an attractive woman, except she has an incredibly wide mouth with shark fangs. As Boundless Sorrow is suddenly sitting on the horse behind you when she clearly wasn't there before, and she just whispers, "It seems you are also interested in Mirror of the Cloud. How interesting. I have business with him, and perhaps I could have business with you as well. I have many things I could offer. You only need to call me. I am Boundless Sorrow, and I will be watching." And as you as soon as she appeared, she is gone again. And that is where we will leave things for the evening. So thank you very much, everyone. That was great fun. Thoroughly enjoyed that. So I'll stop the recording now. And if you have been watching, thank you very much.